Hello, Junior Doctors. Welcome back to Junior Dr. Fiona Chow's YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to continue the series and talk about The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat by Oliver Sacks. And this week, we're going to talk about Chapter 6, Phantoms. So this title sounds really spectacular, right? It's phantoms. How is that related to medicine? However, phantoms in this case is meant things that patients would feel even after, for instance, their finger is cut off. Let me just give an example Oliver Sacks wrote about. So there's this sailor, and he cut off his finger accidentally. And however, even though he lost his finger, he could still feel his finger in a sense. For instance, when he's brushing stuff out of his face, he would intentionally get out of the way so that his eyes wouldn't be poked by his finger, even though the finger is already gone. And in this chapter, Oliver Sacks didn't give a particular example of someone who had a particular condition of like phantoms. However, he talked about how phantoms play in a role in multiple patients' lives. I think one part in particular that was very interesting was when he talked about that phantoms are necessary for some patients, because when patients get prosthetics, for instance, they need that phantom finger, that phantom leg, in order to use their prosthetics, or else they wouldn't be able to properly use their prosthetics in the best way. One of the more interesting parts about this chapter is that Oliver Sacks mentioned how one of his patients actually had to slap his thigh in order for his phantom lower leg to wake up, in order for him to be able to walk, to be able to use his leg prosthetic. So I found that really interesting. And it's also that there's this patient that he encountered where the patient actually, he's called Charles, and he has to, similar to the disembodied lady, which I talked about in a previous video in the same series, he has to look at his legs, his feet, in order to walk steadily, or else he wouldn't be able to walk. And that is because he has lack of phantom legs, because he doesn't know the existence of his legs, so he couldn't walk properly without actually looking at his legs. And I found this really interesting because I've never really thought about how people could still feel their limbs are there even though it's gone due to an accident. And that is just very interesting. So that would be it for this week's YouTube channel. And remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank you, and see you next time.